Hello guys, can you hear me okay? Type 1 if you can hear me loud and clear. All right, excellent. Okay, first and foremost, guys. Okay, first and foremost, I would like to make a quick apology. All right, because this webinar was initially scheduled for last week. All right, about 11 days ago. Okay, and I believe that a lot of you received a last-minute email informing you guys that there was going to be a postponement to tonight. Correct? Okay, just let me explain to you guys what happened. One day before the webinar, I was diagnosed with COVID number 2. It was my second time getting COVID. Do not ask me where I got it from. I haven't been leaving the house much, right? So it was just one of those things. Okay, I had no idea I got it because it was definitely a different variant. So as usual, I finished my consult, and the day before the webinar, I started feeling I started burning up. All right. So I had no choice but to cancel all my consults on that day, but I was trying my best to work through the webinar. But unfortunately, the fever got the better of me, and I think that I needed to sleep for 48 hours. So anyway, don't worry, guys. Okay, I'm back. No big deal. All right, no big deal. Okay, so I would just like to say thank you for your patience. All right, and because of what happened, because that was my first time ever postponing a webinar. So I had all the slides ready, but because of this postponement, I thought that I would give you guys something a bit special. All right, a bit special. So I've changed certain examples that I'm going to expose to you guys tonight to let you guys have a deeper understanding of what's possible with your BaZi chart. Is that okay? All right, guys. All right. Yes, there will be a replay for today's session, so not to worry if your connection is bad. Okay, not to worry. If you have to go, you have to go. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Okay. Now. Oops. Okay. Right, give me a second here. I think there's something going on with my Zoom screen. Okay, I'll just share this. Hi, guys. Hi. All right. Can everybody see my slides in full screen? type a yes. Good. Excellent. Okay, guys. All right. Thank you for being here on a Friday morning, afternoon, and night. Right. I promise not to take up too much of your time, so I will not go on for 3 hours. Okay. I've received some comments that Kenneth, you go on for too long. I'm like, all right. Okay. So I'll try to give you short and sharp, but profound examples. All right. Okay. Now, for those of you who have been following Datuk Joey for a while, okay, he has always been a very strong advocate of not resigning to fate, but instead being a creator of your own destiny, or being a co-creator, okay, of your destiny. What does that mean? Right? Because I've been following Datuk Joey for more than a decade. And when I first started following him, I had no idea what he was trying to get at. All right. He was saying, oh, whatever you're born with, we can't control. All right. We can't control the hand that we are dealt with in life. However, that just indicates your starting point, but it does not decide your final destination. So when I heard that from him, I was like, what is this guy talking about? All right. Isn't what we are born, our BaZi chart is already preset energies, and the path is generally there, right? So how are we able to co-create or even have a bit of influence over where we are going with our lives? correct? But of course, that his thinking was what got me really interested to follow him. Okay, so after many years of following him, I sort of realized what it was all about. Okay. Now, this chart is the chart of life. All right. This is the ideal life, which more than 99.99% of the time does not happen. I'm sorry. Okay. But this is the ideal life, right? This is like the perfect chart for a progressive life that, since the day you're born to the day you die, you're constantly progressing, your life is always getting better, right? And making more money and, expanding your influence, even your health gets better, you enjoy great relationships and stuff like that. All right. This is the ideal chart of life. Just out of curiosity, how many of you have lives like this? Type of me. I do not know about you, but I'm definitely not typing, right? Oh, you see, suddenly the chat just went dead, right? Because this is not the reality of life, correct? Now, I'm going to give you two versions of life. You guys tell me which one you guys are closer to, okay? Okay, so this is called the progressive life, which is the ideal one, which no one has admitted that they have, all right? Now, then you have reality number one, all right? Reality number one, all right? When you're born, you go to school, you start to achieve, certain grades, you try your best in sports, right? You make friends, right? You fall in love, we fall out of love. So basically, the first part of our lives, we are always like growing because we are being protected and sheltered by our parents, yeah? Then when we start to enter society, all right, we get really excited, we start earning our money, right? We start building our careers and we start progressing further. But there will come a point in time, right, when we will start meeting certain events that may be a bit disruptive and a bit nerve-wracking or undesirable in our lives. Okay, some examples. Then we'll get into some trouble or we'll get into some tough times and our life will start going down a little. All right, it will start going down a little to the point where we have to solve our problems. Then we'll go back up again, and then we'll go back down a little, then we'll go back up again, then we'll go all the way back down a little, right? And then you will realize that at the end of 10, 20 years, all right, we realize that we have not really progressed and we have not really gone down too much as well. All right, we are more or less balancing on the same plane. Okay, now how many of you feel that your lives have been like that for the last 10, 20, 30 years? Type of me. Lucia, right? Sharon, Imma, Jay. All right. Meza, right? Molly, right? Exactly right. You see? Isn't this normal? Isn't this normal, guys? Okay, now this is what we call resigning to fate. All right, because we basically whatever we try to do, right, we just accept how things are. Oh, I'm progressing. Oh, this year has been fantastic. And then next year when you encounter a clash or just say a destruction, oh my goodness, all right, something bad happens. Oh my God, suddenly there was a change in rules, there was a change in the law, there was a change in taxation, right, for example, right? And then suddenly you get hit. Okay, and then you start going down, and then when everything stabilizes again, you start to climb up. But before you climb up too high, something in life will come and disrupt your life again. Isn't that life, guys? Isn't that life? It's like life is a bit of an annoying friend, right? Whereby when things are going well, you will always be able to depend on life to screw it up. Isn't it? Right? Now, most of us would be like this in the life of stagnation. This is the chart of the stagnation life. But let me tell you something that is scary. If you are experiencing a life of stagnation, you are actually one of the luckier ones. Okay? Because the next example is more of reality, especially now. Okay? Now, this is reality number 2. Okay. Same thing, when you start entering society, you start, you're obedient, you start working really hard, right? You start climbing up the corporate ladder, right? You start to make some money, right? Your life gets better. Then suddenly something hits. Something hits and it will bring you back down. All right. And then when it goes, when basically you stabilize your problem, you start to just live life. You don't really climb back up. Okay, how many of you agree with me that, sometimes we don't really make a special effort every single year to tell ourselves, okay, I'm going to increase my earnings by 20-30% every single year. We don't. All right. After a while, we just go, as long as life is generally peaceful, we are okay. Okay, basically, as long as no big deal, no big dramas, no big surprises that screws up my life, right? I'm generally okay. Okay, not achieving more. This is the reality. Okay, and what happens is this: every time when something in life hits you, you go down. But whenever it's time for you to come back up, you don't really come back up. You probably go halfway before the next bad or the next undesirable drama or undesirable event happens to your life, and your life goes further down. And over 10, 20, 30, even 40 years, all right, your chart, right, basically goes into a downward pattern. Now, be honest to yourself. Is this you? Type a me if this is you. Okay. Now, why exactly, right? But you realize one really annoying thing. You didn't screw up in life, isn't it? Right? To be fair as well, you guys did not screw up in life. But why the hell is this happening to you? Correct? Because this definitely happened to me. And I asked myself, did I do something really bad? Right? Did I really screw up in life? The answer is no. Right? I went to school. I studied my ass off. Right? Even though I didn't have really good grades, but I did the best that I could. When I went to society, right, I worked my ass off as well, right? Whatever opportunities I tried to get it, but and then along the way, certain things will happen that will drag me down, that will pull me backwards. All right, and then I will start to try to recover and start to live my normal life again. But at the end of like 40 years, I look back and I say, I didn't screw up at all. I tried my best. I gave up my best. But why is my life showing this pattern? Actually looks more like you, right? There you go. All right. There you go. Right. A lot of people, if I show you guys, right, this is the chart of your life, all right, for the last 20 to 40 years. A lot of you will agree with me. Okay. And the worst part is none of you really screwed up that bad. So why are we suffering from this? If you feel that the good old days are gone and now life is tougher, but you don't really see changes, your life is basically going into a downward spiral, okay, over the long term. So what are you missing, guys? Okay, it took me a while to discover this. Okay, so I'm going to just tell you the reality. This is what we call a downward spiral. Okay, without you screwing up in life. This is how scary it is. Okay, so now, if we know that this is the ideal direction, okay, this is the ideal pattern that we are trying to achieve, how are we going to change a downward spiral the chart of life, the chart of reality, to something close to this progressive chart? How do we do it? All right. Every year, when I attend Datuk Joey's FSA, large-scale events, he will briefly mention 4 words in Chinese, which translated into English means turning the bad into good, or basically reducing the negative and amplifying the positive. Okay, those of you who know Chinese will know the 4 words that I'm talking about. Yeah. And he says that is the essence of why we learn metaphysics. Okay. Now, so let me make things very easy for you guys. Okay. In life, all right, we either go up or we go down, correct? We hardly go in a straight line. We either go up or we go down, okay? So basically, going up means we are progressing. Going down means something happens and it's dragging us backwards. Basically, essentially, there are only two directions that we can go at any one point in our lives, okay? So when things happen, that means when bad things happen and it drags us backwards, okay? What do we do? And after we stabilize any problems and we want to climb back up, what do we do? Essentially, we only do two things, okay? When bad things happen to us or unforeseen surprises happens to us and disrupts our life, right? What we have to do is we have to control the damage and stabilize the situation, correct? Right? Anything that happens to you, any bad, negative things that happens to you, you have to stop. You have to control the damage first, stabilize before you can go back. Before you can go back up, right? Okay, so that's just one strategy. What do you so what happens after you have stabilized? You start to rediscover opportunities and you start to pursue and climb back up. Basically, there are only two strategies. If you can do this, not 100% of the time, if you can do this 65% of the time, don't you think that you have successfully influenced a better life? Who agrees with what I've just said? Who can resonate with what I've just said? Type of one. Correct? Yeah, exactly. Right? This is such an open secret that sometimes we just forget. All right, and it's easier for us to blame. Oh, it's been a terrible year. Oh, this year has been okay. Okay, then a lot of us who are lucky, we find ourselves stagnating. All right, those of us who are living life, we find that a lot of us unconsciously we are in a downward spiral. Okay, so how do we do these two strategies? Correct. If you can do these two strategies 65% of the time or more, you are very successful at controlling and building a wonderful life for yourself. Okay? Usually damage, out of control, and miserable recovery. Exactly. Okay, exactly. All right. So normally when something bad happens, all right, normally when we are lost and we are not sure and when we panic, right, sometimes we add fuel to fire and we make the situation even worse. Okay, because we're lost. All right. And that's just part of life now. When we say we want to have a better life, okay, generally, okay, when we say we want to have a better life, there are three main areas that people normally focus, right, on, right? One is wealth. That means your career or your business, correct? The other one is relationship, right? Whether it's your marriage, whether it's your relationship within your family, with your in-laws or outlaws, right? Stuff like that, right? And then, and of course, finally, health. All right, finally, health. All right, so there are three main areas that that everybody will focus on to define a better life. All right, three main aspects. Okay. So look at this chart, guys. Okay, look at this chart. Okay. This is the first special chart I'm going to show you. First special example. All right. This chart, this example is focusing on the wealth aspect. Okay. Now, first of all, in the entire chart, all right, the only wealth element is found in the year pillar. Can you guys see the DW, direct wealth, at the bottom far right? Type of me if you can see. Excellent, excellent. Okay, all right. So the bottom right-hand side is direct wealth, right? Okay. Can you see that the direct wealth, a very familiar chart, right, Joshua? Okay. So the direct wealth will see the rock wealth, RW. Okay. Before seeing the self. All right. Now, this formation is, according to the classic books, is a special formation that says, if wealth sees raw wealth before reaching the self, you will always be poor. Okay, you will always be poor. Okay, now this chart is hard to come by because first of all, you only need one wealth element. That means if you have other wealth elements out anywhere else in your chart, this you do not satisfy this classics. All right. So this whole chart, there's only one wealth element and it sees the raw wealth first. That means whatever potential earnings or money that comes to you will get robbed away before you get to enjoy it. This sucks, right? Yes, right to left, right to left. All right, follow the arrows. Yeah. Okay, this really sucks, right? How would you feel if you have a chart like this? And you satisfy a special formation called wealth sees raw wealth before self, you will always be poor. Okay, this is terrible. Okay, this is terrible. Okay, guys, this is my chart, by the way. Okay, Angelica is saying if you have raw wealth first, then indirect wealth, then you don't satisfy because the wealth will see you. All right, will be in between the raw wealth and the self, right? Angelica, so it's not compliant to the classic saying. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay, swing is saying totally do not have wealth element at all. That's another issue, but that's not really an issue. Okay. Now, by the way, that's my chart. Okay. So for the longest time, when I was growing up, I always knew there was something going on with my life. Because every time when I had some money, I would lose it. I would spend it all. Something is going to happen for me to pay for something, you know, stuff like that. Even since young, all right, pocket money and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, any form of wealth, Jane. Jane says instead of direct wealth is, if what Jane is saying is, what if it's indirect wealth? Basically, as long as it's wealth, okay, as long as it's wealth, all right. Now, the thing is this. Let me show you this example, all right, and you tell me whether it's self-fulfilling prophecy or whether my destiny is actually true based on the classic saying, okay. Now, it was in 2017, and I'm going through the snake 10-year luck pillar. Can you guys follow? All right. Those of you who are not too familiar with technical, don't worry, just listen to my explanation. Yeah. Okay. In 2017, it was the year of the rooster. Okay. It combines with the snake in my 10-year luck cycle. Okay. Forming the metal element and forming the energy of rock wealth. It's a combination. So normally when we see combinations, it's opportunistic. That means it's normally there's an opportunity coming my way. So I thought, wow, okay, cool. 2070 is not that bad, right? Not that bad. And I have another rooster in my month pillar. Okay, so that means the opportunity was coming to me in my career. Okay, so I was, you know, pretty excited, even though my family business has been in the red for either breaking even or going into the red. All right, that means we were starting to lose money. Okay. In 2017, the rooster and the red formed a destruction. That means I was expecting sudden changes, right? And I told myself, yeah, you know, if there's a new opportunity coming, definitely there will be changes, right? There'll be changes because I'm going after the opportunity. All right. And I have a snake in the hour, which also formed another semi-combination producing the rock wealth. So I was like, wow, right? Dato Joey has always said, oh, if you have a rock wealth combination, you know, people are going to approach you for partnerships and, you know, giving you opportunities. You're going to have nobleman help and all that stuff. So I was naturally excited. Yeah. This was the event. Okay. My entire industry went through an industrial crisis that we have never seen for the last 100 years. Okay, as for my family business, we lost 80% of our clients in 48 hours. Our cash flow dried up, our bank accounts dried up, and 2 banks were chasing us for repayments. Okay, this is basically the event. Okay, so much for opportunities, right, guys? Okay, so can you see that even though my family business was making some profit, somehow life will come and rob everything away from me. Okay, and because I was the managing director, so the entire family business followed the flow of my chart. Okay, so in 2017, the economy was coming to rob my family's wealth. All right, and this time around, it was a big robbery because we were facing a potential bankruptcy. Okay, now if you just study BaZi the traditional way, and the traditional way is accepting fate, why do you even learn it in the first place? Okay, guys. Now, guys, put yourself in my situation. Okay, do you accept? If resign as MD, too late because it has already happened. Okay, do you guys accept that not only are you going to bankrupt your company, your family might risk losing the house that they live in for the last 27 years? All right, and then even your elderly mom has to face the repercussions of that as well. No, right? Hell no, right? A lot of you would die trying, isn't it? Okay, now this is when you accept fate. You are going to face bankruptcy, and all your entire wealth, not just yours, but your entire family's wealth, survivalhood, is going to be robbed away by reality. Okay? Remember, I told you that Dato' Joey did say that rob wealth is all about making a deal. Okay, those of you who have heard him say this before, rob wealth is always about creating a win-win situation, talking about creating a deal, right? So since I was already driven into a corner, I was like, what the hell? Okay, so I went out and I raised $750,000 in 2 weeks. I paid off both banks, eliminated all my liabilities. Okay, I preserved working capital. Whatever remaining stock that I had, machinery I had, I consigned out to my close suppliers or close contractors. All right. And I was free to start any new business and enter new markets. And I managed to save my family from bankruptcy and preserve close to $500,000. This is also rob wealth energy, guys. Can you see this? All right. This is a very common story I shared with a lot of you guys for the last, I don't know, few months or maybe 2 years. Right? A lot of you will have heard about this story. Okay. And this was the story that I shared on stage with Dato' Joey in 2018. Okay. So how many of you have heard of this story? Many times. Type of me. Right? And I thank you for your patience. Now, in 2019, I was invited back. Back then, I wasn't even a student. I was just a follower of Dato' Joey. But back then, because I faced bankruptcy, I could not afford any classes, right? So I just followed his FSA and stuff like that, right? And in 2019, I was invited back on stage, all right? Because Dato' Joey asked me, okay, 2018, you used BaZi to get out of bankruptcy. In 2019, what's part 2? That was what Dato' Joey asked me, all right? So in 2018, I got out of bankruptcy. But when I understood what rob wealth was all about, okay, which is making a deal, okay, sharing resources, sharing profits, collaboration, okay, I started to explore the power of rob wealth. Because if my chart is controlled by the power of rob wealth, don't you think that if I understood the essence of rob wealth, I can find the secret formula to growing rich, or at least start improving my life? How many of you agree? Type of 1. Agree, right? Okay. So I started discovering, and I started doing extensive research on what was rob wealth. How do I make more money by letting people rob me? Okay. So in 2019, okay, sorry, in 2018, after I got out of bankruptcy, I had nothing to do, right? I had no job, I had no business, I had to look for the next step, isn't it? Because whatever money that we managed to preserve could only buy us maximum 2, maximum 3 years, right? 3 years of time trying to find another way out. So in 2018, I only had $2,000 left in my bank account just for food money, all right? And I definitely wasn't going to take money from my parents, from my mom, right? Because I've already lost my dad. So in 2018, I was approached by a friend, all right? And he told me, hey, there's this great retail business, a small one, all right? And it has a regular clientele and you could make a small profit, running it. So I looked at the business, and since I was still enjoying the Rock Wealth energy in 2018, I went out to raise a further $200,000 and took over a retail business worth $220,000. And I did all that having just $2,000 in my bank account. Okay, this is called understanding Rock Wealth. Okay. Then moving forward, 2019, all right, Rock Wealth, to some of you, it also means short-term contracts. So in 2019, right, people started approaching me and giving me short-term contracts on how to build their business because they heard that I could raise money and build up their business. Okay, so in 2019, I took business development contracts. By the way, how many of you are Singaporeans here? Type of me. Singaporeans. Yeah. You know that in our Singapore airports, you have the automated self-check-in kiosks and the backdrops. That means you do not have to line up at the counters. You could just do your own automated kiosk check-in and you can just drop your luggage and go through customs, right? Yep. Okay. I was part of that project as well. This is what in 2019, I was part of the group of guys, right, who was promoting the automated system at airports in aviation. Okay, so I was doing that for about 6 months. Okay, and I was traveling to Turkey and all that stuff to attend all the aviation trade shows. Okay, Fok Wing Chang, yeah, how do you raise money? There's a technique to it. Okay, there's a technique to it, and based on BaZi. Okay. And then in 2020, all right, because it's short-term contracts, I needed something that I had to restart my career. All right, I had to restart my career. So in 2020, I was invited, okay, to join the apprenticeship program at Joey Yap. Okay, at Joey Yap. As an apprentice, a lot of people do not know you don't get paid. But it's about getting your foot in the door to prove yourself before you get promoted to consultant. All right. So in 2021, I successfully got myself promoted to being a consultant after about 14 months, which is pretty okay. Okay, which is pretty okay. All right. And being a consultant, a lot of people do not know. We are consultants are not under the payroll of Joey Yap. We are basically partners, strategic working partners, whereby every time when we deliver a consult or whether we teach a course, right, we are paid a commission or a profit sharing scheme. Now, is that compliant to Rock Wealth? Sharing resources and sharing profits, right? Yes, yes. Okay, guys. Now, I want you to see the series of events from bankruptcy, how I got out of bankruptcy all the way to 2021 until now. I'm still a consultant, right? Is this Rock Wealth? For you to understand, Rock Wealth is collaborating with people, making a deal, short-term contracts, sharing resources, sharing profits. Affiliate marketing is Rock Wealth as well. All right, affiliate marketing, as long as you're sharing, right? Sharing is Rock Wealth. Okay. Now, remember this Rock Wealth very well. Okay, guys, you might not be an expert, but understand the essence of it, because this is one of the essential skills that everybody needs going into period 9. Why do I say that? Because in period 9, no one is an island. Period 9 belongs to the element of fire. All right, so for you to imagine fire, imagine a candle flame, okay, on top of a candle, right? Now, an individual candle can't really do much damage. But if you put multiple candles together, you get the concept of a forest fire. So in period 9, collaboration is the fastest way to achieve success. Okay, to achieve success. Yeah, so understand rock wealth. So those of all of you can look at your charts now. Okay, look at the second page and look under the 10 profiles. Any of you who have rock wealth above 60%, okay, is a really good skill for you guys to leverage and improve on in period 9. Those of you who have lower rock wealth, that means below 60% or even below 50%, right? You got to learn how to strike a win-win situation, because right now you tend to do a one-sided deal. That means you tend to benefit more and give the other person less. That is the situation whereby you're going to fail at making partnerships or even striking a deal. Got it? All right. Look at the annual. Okay. Look at the NATO. Look at the NATO, not the annual. Look at the NATO. How you're born. 100%, not 100%. First of all, 100% means you have the natural talent. You love working with people. You love making deals with people. But anything above 85% or even 88% is excessively too much, meaning you care about people to the point whereby you forgot about yourself. You're overly generous. Okay, those of you who have more than 85 or 88% rock wealth, right? You are the best friends because you would pay for your friends' meals, you buy them drinks, right? You spend a lot of money on your friends. Okay. Okay. All right. So you understand rock wealth in this way. Yeah. Good. So this is well focused. Now, a lot of people who have been following me for a while, right? They always say, Kenneth, you know, we love listening to you, but the problem is you keep on talking about wealth. You keep on talking about money, right? Can you talk about other things like relationship or even health? Okay, I know not many of you say that to me, but I have received comments like that. Okay, because my position in JY is a wealth and business coach. Okay, but it doesn't mean I don't do relationships. Okay, it's just that people are afraid to ask me about relationships because the way I treat relationships is very objective driven, and relationships are more emotionally triggered. That's why a lot of people, unless they are in a very tough situation, they would not ask me about relationships. Okay, but for today, I'm going to give you a very special example. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is again the 2 strategies, right? How do you overcome? How do you eliminate the bad and amplify the good? The example that I just given you about how I got out of bankruptcy and then raising money to take over a retail business and then get short-term contracts and then get myself into consultancy with Joey Yap. Okay, that is called turning a classical 八字 saying into and finding the secret to amplify my wealth. Can you see it, guys? So it's about finding the secret doorway, all right, to everybody's chart. Okay, and what are you doing? You're just doing these 2 strategies. Okay. Jay is asking, Kenneth, what if it's rock wealth in the luck pillar? That means for that 10 years, you have the potential of making partnerships, of collaboration. Okay, Jay? Yeah, okay. Now, let's talk a bit about relationship. I know some of you are not used to me, right? Oh, Kenneth Wong talking about relationships. Oh my God, you know, he must be really sick. Yeah, no, just listen to me, okay? For now, okay? For this relationship. Now, you see, during COVID times, right? During COVID times, whichever country that you're in, a lot of us would have experienced some level of a lockdown, correct? Some of us lockdown, some heightened restrictions on movements and traveling and socializing and gatherings, right? All of us would have experienced some form of restriction in meeting people, basically, isn't it? All right. So I'm going to give you this special example about how to find a partner while lying in bed being locked up at home. Because some of the guys are asking me, Kenneth, you really have to show us how you found a girlfriend while lying in bed. Okay, just remove the bed part because that sounded a bit wrong. Okay, yeah. All right. Okay. Now, for a guy, okay, for a guy's chart, okay, for a guy's chart, direct wealth, DW, represents wife, okay, and IW, indirect wealth, represents girlfriend. But if you look at my chart, I don't have indirect wealth. I only have one miserable direct wealth, right? Being in the blue box over here, okay, in the blue box over here, okay. Now, okay, if those of you who are beginners, right, or you know, you guys do not know that much about 八字, don't freak out. As I go into different examples, I'm going deeper into higher level 八字, so you might receive some information that might trigger some questions of fear, okay? Promise me don't freak out, all right? Don't freak out first, all right? Just listen to me first, all right? Okay, now, the thing is this. When your direct wealth or your spouse star, okay, is in a graveyard animal sign. Graveyard animal signs means an earth animal sign. There are 4. Okay, goat, ox, dragon, and dog. Okay, if your spouse star and you only have one, or all your spouse stars are inside the graveyard animal sign, normally this indicates a late marriage. That's if you ever get married. Okay, that's if you ever get married. Okay, what's the star for husband or boyfriend for a girl? Boyfriend is 7 killings, husband is direct officer. Okay, okay, all right, this is just additional information, yeah? Okay, now the thing is this is my chart as well. All right, this is my chart. My direct wealth, that means my potential wife is buried underground. I can't find her. All right, that's what he means by married. I'm going to marry late, because it takes a while for me to discover my wife, because I have to dig her out. And probably give her a shower, right? Yeah. So basically, that's why I'm going to marry late, because it's going to take me a while to find my wife. Okay. So in terms of this chart, right? In terms of this relationship love chart, it's not very good, isn't it? It's not very good. And if you understand the example of the previous example on wealth, right? The direct wealth, that means the wife star sees Rob wealth competition, my competition, before reaching me. It also means that every time when I like a girl or whenever I have a partner, right, I'm going to constantly face steep competition, and I'm going to lose my wife to competition. Come on, give me a break, right? I suck at wealth, and then suddenly now you even steal my love life. I mean, come on, right? This chart sucks. I am so brave with such a chart. I didn't choose my chart, Lucia. I didn't choose my chart, right? But this is a perfect example of you don't get to choose your chart, right? You don't get to choose the hand that you're dealt with. It's how you respond to it. Correct, guys? Okay. But then I was asking myself, right? Because then I was looking back at my life after I learned 八字. I was looking at my life and my previous ex-girlfriends, right? Did I really face a lot of competition? I was asking myself truthfully, right? Every time when I got myself a girlfriend, would there be like 10 guys waiting outside her house waiting to rush her away from me? The answer is no. So what on earth is this chart talking about, right? Now, those of you who learn the 10 gods, all right, at the basic level, okay, Rob wealth, every 10 god has a healthy and unhealthy range, okay? So I asked myself, is this really competition? In retrospect, that's not the truth. But every time when I'm close to getting married, I will lose her. It's either I will call off the marriage or she will call off the marriage. And I was like, what on earth? I don't smell that bad. What is going on? Right? What's going on? Right? And it's not competition. It's not like there's someone else. There's no one else. So what is robbing my love away from me? Okay. Then I realized, this is my 10 profiles, guys. Okay. Can you see that my Rob wealth is 100%? Okay. So 100% rot wealth is unhealthy. First of all, those of you who have rot wealth who are more than 85 or 88%, you will realize one thing. You love to have fun. Okay, you love to have fun, and and you cherish hanging out with friends more than your love partner. That's one thing. Okay, and 100% rot wealth is also about being a bit too set in your thinking. All right, meaning whenever you're with me, I have a certain expectation of how you should behave, or how you should think, how you should behave, how my partner should be like, basically, from behavior to thinking. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, it's called my way or the highway. It's not male ego, it's just you believe that is the way to behave in a relationship, basically. Right? It's basically like that. It's not about you winning, but it's about being a bit more inflexible in terms of accepting people the way they are, that you are not too familiar with. Okay, that you're not too familiar with. So what I realized is many times I found out, because mine is 100%, guys, it's maximum already. Okay, so what happens is that every time when there's a certain misalignment from my expectations, okay, straight away I have this feeling of I think she's not the right one. I don't think she's the right one. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if she's the one for me. You start to have these kind of thoughts. You start to go into the thinking of cutting her off because she's the wrong one. Okay? Right? I know this sounds bad, right? This sounds bad. Why is this happening? Because another name for rot wealth, some of you might be exposed to it, is called goat blade. Goat blade. What is goat blade? Goat blade is a double-edged sword with no handles. So in order to use that knife, okay, in order to use that knife, that sword, to stab the enemy, I have to hold one end of the blade and cut myself first. That means in order to cut people off, I will hurt myself as well. Okay, that is called rot wealth at 100%. Okay, yeah, so rot wealth people can be a bit vengeful. That means when you meet rot wealth people, be very careful, because if they need to take revenge to prove a point, they would not hesitate to hurt themselves in order to hurt you. So beware. Okay, now rot wealth is like that. Okay, so what I realized was it was actually the negative traits that was robbing my potential partners away from me. Okay, because the healthy range was win-win situation, striking a deal. Okay, but because my rot wealth was excessively too much, my whole deal making was one-sided. So when I realized this, subsequently I realized that everybody is made differently, everybody is brought up differently, different upbringing, different education status, different exposure in life, different value system. Okay, different value system. Okay, so what I had to learn in my life was to be flexible, open communication, and move on together as a team in order to, have any potential partners in my life. That's what I learned. It took me many years. All right, it took me many years to realize this. Okay, so great. I learned my lesson, but there was one problem. I need to find a girlfriend. Fine, right? Fine. You learned the lesson. Now you have to find a damn girlfriend first, okay? Okay, fine. Okay. So as usual, right? During COVID times, trust me, right? Finding a girlfriend was the last thing on my mind, correct? Because you're dealing with the pandemic, you're dealing with being locked away at home, right? People are going crazy from isolation, right? Everybody's living on Zoom. You know, that kind of thing. You wouldn't think of like looking for a girlfriend, right? So this was 2021, guys. Okay, this was 2021. All right. It was the year of, it's the year of the ox. 2021, yeah? It's the year of the ox, right? 2 years ago, the year of the ox. Now, the ox will clash with the goat, correct? All right. What does this mean? It means there is an explosion. That means there's this earthquake. Two grounds are hitting each other, okay, as an earthquake. The ground is going to crack open, all right, in this way. Rod wealth will clash with the direct wealth. Okay, this is one way of the ox clashing with the goat, but I'm only going to focus on this part of it, okay, this part of the clash, okay, because the ox actually clashes in 3 ways, but I'm going to show you this part over here. So the metal, the yin metal will come and clash with the yin wood. Now, what is the yin wood again, guys? My DW, my wife. What does this mean? This means through the earthquake, my buried potential wife was going to be clashed out into the open. And he pops out with all the mud. Okay, yeah, exactly, right? Exactly, right? So when I looked at my chart in 2021, I was like, potential, right? But was it going to happen? No idea, but at least you know there's a potential, correct? So what's the first thing you should do? If you know that this person pops out of the ground, out of nowhere, the first thing you look for is who is new in your life, isn't it, guys? Logically, who agrees with me? You start to pay attention to who is new that came into your life, isn't it? So throughout the year, right? I was like, okay, who's new, right? Stuff like that, right? Just for the fun of it, guys. Just for the fun of it. I wasn't that desperate, okay? Just in case you're thinking about that, right? The wife will appear into the open because it will be clashed out from the ground. Okay. Now, it was the month of October. Okay. It was the month of October. Inside the dog, which is the month of October, is the Yang Earth. All right. It's the Yang Earth. Inside my spouse palace, which is the day pillar, is the yin water. Okay, it's the yin water. This forms a hidden combination because the dog and the rat does not form any relationships, no combinations, no clashes, no destructions, no harms, right? However, the hidden stems, the yang earth and the yin water forms a heavenly combination. That means on the surface, when people look at me, I'm still the same. I'm still single. I'm not with anybody, right? I haven't gone out to meet anybody new. I'm still stuck at home, lying on my bed, talking to people via Zoom. Everybody looks at me from the outside. I'm still doing the same thing, right? But in reality, in October itself, I started a new relationship. Okay. And this person was from a different country. Okay. Was from a different country. Okay. All I did was to find out, right, who was new in my life. Okay, who was new in my life. And we just started talking, and then one thing led to another. And you know, she saw pictures of me, she attended my webinars, and she found me pretty cute. All right, so she's those of you who have low self-confidence and say that, you know, oh, I don't look good, right? You know, I look like a fridge, right? No one's gonna like me. No, you don't think that way, all right? The beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. When she saw me on one of my webinars and she saw my size, she likes storage. Okay, so don't ever sell yourself short. Okay, you never know who likes you. All right, now, okay. Okay, this is before the next one is about health. So can you see that this is, so I managed to start a relationship in 2021 October without even meeting that person. And in December, when things started to open up, that means when we started to have the first few stages of being able to fly, we met up. Okay, we met up. All right. She flew herself actually to Singapore, and then we had a good and then we were together for a month. All right, first time physically together. Okay, so this was all done during COVID period, guys. All right, and trust me, she took a shower before flying over, so she was very clean. All right, yeah. So this is how you see, this is how things can be possible. All right. And I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth. All right, because I did it for myself, despite my chart being like that. But of course, when I had this opportunity, right, I practice flexibility, how do you say, give and take. That's very well, give and take. All right, find common ground, right? Despite having two different sets of values and expectations in a relationship, find common ground and move on together as a team. Okay, and I'm glad to announce that at the end of this year, I'm getting married. Okay, yes, it's still self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's still self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm still getting married late. I'm 44 years old this year, but this was how I found my partner, and we are getting married 2 years later. Okay, so this can be done, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But why am I sharing this? Okay, because this is one of those examples that people just go, what the hell? What? Can you stop doing weird stuff? Right? Yeah, but if you have a chart like this, after marriage, yeah, she'll be in Singapore. Yeah, she'll be living with me, of course. Yeah. Yeah. So what happens is it's never impossible, no matter what your chart says at birth. Okay, there is, as long as you can find that window of opportunity, you can find that secret sauce, you can find that secret doorway. Okay, you are able to influence and overcome the so-called traditional negative indications of your chart. All right, because when BaZi, this study of BaZi came about, it was 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. Back then, the entire landscape was very different. So their impression of good and bad is also very, very different. Okay, guys. So this is how, this is the first time I'm talking about my own relationship, but I thought it was a good example, something out of the ordinary, to let you guys see what is possible. Okay, and so how am I able to do all this? Because of my deeper understanding of the basics of BaZi. Do you realize that a lot of times I'm just using the basics, such as the combinations, clashes, destructions, harms, hidden combinations, and all that stuff, right? You hear this every single year, all right? And I'm still doing the same thing. All right, you just have to do it well, and your life, and you are able to start influencing and improving your life. Okay, so far I've improved my wealth aspect, and I am improving my relationship aspect. Now, what's the last one? That's the last one, health. Now, a lot of, as I said, now health is a bit tricky, because as I said, we do not have a choice in our birthdays. Okay, which means we have to accept our health condition at birth. Okay, so now, still my chart. Okay, now I only want you to focus on the yellow structure, because the yellow structure is based on your birthday and time of birth, so this will never change for the rest of your life. Okay, so just follow the yellow structure. Okay, the purple structure changes every single year. So let's look at what we are born with. Yeah, so now, and again, I hardly talk about health. All right, I hardly talk about health now, but I want you to see how we can intervene with health, despite us not being able to select our health. Okay, so can you see that my wood element is only about 10%? Okay, wood represents the frame of your body. That means your joints, ligament, your tendons, right? Your nervous system, right? It also represents your liver. Okay, so with only 10% wood, straight away you can see that I would have a very high potential of having joint issues, which is true. All right. I'm a gout patient since 25 years old. All right. I've gone for operations for tearing my ligament without knowing how I did it, just by sleeping. Okay. And then that affected my ability to walk. So I went through a lot of medical interventions for my joints. Okay. But going deeper, okay, I'm talking about health here, right? So guys, don't freak out if this is, it might not be the same for you. Okay. When wood is the element, okay, when you go much deeper into parts, you will also understand that wood is the element that is an indication of your general state of health. So when I'm born with such low percentage of wood, okay, means I have a possibility of weaker health. Okay, of weaker health. Okay, all right. Now, okay, going deeper. Okay, let's put in another layer, especially period 9 is next year. Yeah. Now, secondary level of analysis. When wood is weak, the next element that it produces should naturally be weak as well. So if my wood is weak, wood produces fire. So naturally, my second area of concern would be fire. I know a lot of you right now, you're looking at your charts and you're going to freak out. Okay, as I said, please promise me one thing, don't freak out. Just listen to possibilities, okay? Just listen to my example first, yeah? So my secondary focus is fire. Now, why am I paying a special attention to fire? Because next year, we would have fully transited into period 9. Period 9 belongs to the element of fire. So we are going into the new era of fire-related illness. Okay, what are fire-related illnesses? Number one, those tangible physical organs that you can measure and test would include your eyes, your heart, and your blood. Blood normally is about blood pressure. Okay, that is fire. The other one is mental health, because fire represents clarity of the mind. So you will see there's a rise already for the last 5 years. There's a rise in terms of mental health. Now, mental health doesn't mean the whole world is going crazy. Yeah, this is the very general misunderstanding. Mental health means mental stress-related illnesses, meaning how about overworking and hitting burnouts? Okay, burnouts, just depression. Okay, the boomer generation, a lot of them are going into accelerated dementia. Okay, and with the isolation that was forced upon us by the lockdowns, it will accelerate mental illness. Okay, how about the massive stress, okay, of people during lockdowns when they have no work? All right, you can see these are all the triggers going into period 9 illnesses. Okay, so now, why am I saying this to you? Okay, blood is what? Blood is actually fire and water. Okay, but they're different aspects. Right now, why am I saying this to you? Because for many years, I was in the oil and gas industry. Okay, and in the oil and gas industry, for it was an industry that had a culture of vices. What are vices? All right, smoking, drinking, womanizing, gambling, basically vices. All right, that was the culture of the oil and gas industry. All right, for the last 100 years. So if you wanted to do business, you had to be one of them. All right, so naturally, everybody picked up smoking. Okay, and I'm not afraid to admit as well, I've been a smoker for the last 25 years. Okay, I've been a smoker for the last 25 years. Now, with considerations of period 9 health issues, is smoking a number one leading, I would say, one of the main reasons for heart attacks? Yes or no? Okay, this is my own health analysis. Yes. Okay, it's been proven that long-term smoking can cause heart attacks as well. Correct? Okay. Now, fire is related to heart. Correct? And the fire element is my secondary area of concern, correct? You guys follow me? Yes? Right? Okay. So, how do you stop, or how do you mitigate or reduce the risk of heart-related issues? By quitting smoking, isn't it? Stop smoking, right? But guys, be real, all right? I have been smoking a pack a day, sometimes a pack and a half a day for the last 25 years. Do you think it's that easy? Do you think it's that easy, guys? All right. I thought I would have been, I thought I would be smoking all the way until I step into my coffin. Okay, now. So my bad habit was I've been smoking for the past 25 years. Okay, 25 years, yeah? Now, in your BaZi chart, when you have an addiction, normally you can see signs of where the addiction was triggered from. Okay, a lot of you might not know this. Okay, but can you see there is a rat and a rooster in my chart side by side, right? In the red color box, the rat and the rooster forms a destruction relationship. Now, this destruction relationship in particular indicates some form of addiction. Okay, some form of addiction. Okay, so I'm not sure whether my smoking is due to this, but this is the closest indication I can find in my chart. Okay, in my chart. Now, okay, now, if we know that my smoking addiction is controlled by this destruction relationship between the rat and the rooster, don't you think that in certain years, when this relationship between the rooster and the rat gets disrupted, I have a chance to quit smoking? Think about it. Think about it. Right? Yes? Right? Now, this theory has not been proven, but based on my understanding of BaZi, it has some validity into it, into the way I'm thinking. Okay? Now, let's look at this. Okay? 2023, this year. Okay? 2023, this year. Okay? This is as... You guys are the first to hear this, by the way, okay? This is for me to thank you guys for staying with me despite the postponement of this webinar, okay? Now, in 2023, there is a clash between the rooster in my month pillar with the annual pillar. Yes? Right? Can you guys see this? Yes? Right, yes. All right, okay. Now, so half of the destruction, half of the addiction is being disturbed, isn't it? Okay, half is being disturbed already. Okay, now the other half belongs to the rat. The rat and the rabbit also forms an uncivilized punishment. So there is a potential disturbance within the destruction relationship. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see this? Type a yes if you can see it. Yes? Okay. Okay. Now, this technique or this method was never taught by Datuk JY. Okay. However, based on his teachings, my understanding, okay, of disturbing a certain potential energy is valid. Okay, my understanding. All right. Now, so what did I do? So if I see a potential disturbance, I saw this in December last year. Okay. And if I know that the rabbit is coming in, what did I do? In March, in the year of 2023, the month of March, okay, it is the rabbit month. So rabbit month, rabbit year will come and trigger the disruption, right, for my addiction. Correct? So the first day of March is the 6th of March. So I prepared myself from December all the way until the 5th of March. I just smoked freely every day. I didn't care because I knew on the 6th of March, I was going to be a different person. All right. Now, this is scary. Okay. This is scary. Now, the thing is this. Okay. The moment 6th of March came, I threw away every single thing that reminded me of my smoking habit, my ashtray, my cigarettes, my lighters, every damn thing. Every damn thing. I even mopped my smoking area. Okay? Just like that. Stop means stop. That's it. Okay? My I live with my mom. Most of you know this, right? So I live with my mom. Why am I laughing is because everybody else around me got so scared. All right. My mom was like, are you okay? I'm happy you're doing this, but do you want me to buy you a pack of cigarettes if you are suffering too much? Okay. It's funny. Okay, guys, really seriously. It's funny. My mom loves me. Okay. Was it voluntary or you got news from a doctor? No, it was 100% a commitment to myself in December when I saw the potential disruption of my of the energy within my chart. Okay, my mom was so scared. My mom's like, why don't I buy you a pack? Why don't I buy you a pack? Really, really, seriously. That was what my mom said. I told my mom, no, right? No, I said no means no. All right. So I'm the one quitting, but my mom was the one failing. And I had to control my mom from failing further. All right. So this is the thing, right? The thing is this. You see, I mean, can you blame my mom? You have been smoking for 25 years, pretty heavy and pretty consistent. You suddenly stop like that. Within the moment it hits 6th of March, you cut that part out of your life. Can you imagine the fear? I mean, guys, those of you who have a certain form of addictions, it might not be smoking, it might be drinking, it might be even procrastination, it might be just suddenly doing the same thing for so many years. Suddenly you cut that out of your life. Naturally, you scare the living crap out of yourself. Okay, you probably think that you're going to die or something, right? And plus, the way I did it is actually quite violent. Don't you agree, guys? The way I did it was very violent, right? No means no, cut means cut, everything. You know, that kind of stuff, right? Why? First of all, I'm 100% Rock Wealth. Rock Wealth is also one of the stars of violence. That's why we can be very vengeful and vindictive. Okay, so instead of using it on another person, I declared war. I became violent towards my addiction. Okay, now the thing is this, I think it's this. Why did I choose 6th of March? Not because of convenience, not because it was the first day of March, but in March, okay, it was a peak day. Can I go a bit deeper, guys? Can I go a bit deeper? All right. I'm going into the day and I'm going to explain to you why I'm using the 6th of March. Yeah. Just for you guys to know what is possible. Yes. Okay. Now, the 6th of March was a peak day. Okay. So a peak day in a rabbit month combines with my year pillar, which is the goat. So pig, rabbit, goat forms the 3 harmony combination. Now, this 3 harmony combination produces a very specific energy. It produces the yin wood. Okay, the yin wood. Now, guys, what is the yin wood to me? What is the 10 gods related to yin wood to me? Direct wealth, right? Direct wealth. So what does direct wealth mean to a guy? His wife. Yes? Good. Okay, good. You guys are following. His wife. Now, my wife is way younger than me and she is a very soft character. So don't expect her to be demanding. That means I insist you must quit. You know, if not, I leave you. That is the last thing you do to a Yang Metal Day Master, yeah? Because I will open the door for you, right? But the thing is this, she did not demand anything from me. What she did was this, okay? It wasn't intentional, but based on her soft character, and because I'm much older than her, okay? she told me, I know it's hard. You have been smoking for 25 years. Okay. But if we intend to have a family, or even if we don't have kids, right? Because you're so much older than me, I hope that you can spend more time with me. That was all she said. All right. That was all she said. We are going to get married. I'm not going to back out, no matter how much older you are. But I just hope that you can spend more time with me. She said it to me last year. Last year. Okay. Now, why did I choose 6th of March? Because the 6th of March formed a 3-harmony combination that triggered the request of my fiance. Okay, of my fiance. So on this day, when I quit, the only thing that was running in my head were the words of my fiance. That means I kept on psychoing myself. I kept on telling myself, this is what your wife said to you. Okay. And the fact that she's willing to marry a fridge. Okay. You better do your best for her. Okay. Now. Okay. Now the thing is this. Okay. Okay. What else am I sharing? Okay. Over here. And don't you think that quitting an addiction, or basically, yeah, I know I'm not a fridge, that's just a joke, but you know, people like it. I am pretty big though. Come on, right? Now the thing is, okay, I'm a handsome fridge, but I'm still a fridge. I've got a lot of storage. Okay, yeah, but don't you guys agree that, you know, quitting an addiction or having determination to do something, right, is a change of mindset? Do you guys agree? It's a change of how you think. All right, it's a breakthrough in how you think, isn't it? Agree? Yes? Okay. So remember, on the 6th of March, okay, on the 6th of March is the pig day. I have a snake in my hour pillar. Can you guys see this? Pig and snake is a clash. Okay, it's a clash. That means on the 6th of March, there was a possible forced change in my mindset. All right. Of course, the person forcing is myself, right? There was a potential change in my mindset, right? Okay. Can you see that inside the pig is the EG, eating God? Eating God represents strategy, new plans, new direction moving forward. Okay. And it's the yang water. Now, the pig clashes with the snake. So the yang water in the pig is going to clash the yang fire in the snake. Okay. So when something clashes something has to come out. Just like how my wife came out of the dirt. Yeah. So when the pig clashes with the snake, my 7 killings got clashed out. What is 7 killings? Courage and sudden change. And it's a brutal change. 7 killings represents painful change, brutal, abrupt, but 7 killings also represents courage. Okay. On the deeper level, 7K talks about destroying the old and creating something new. It's basically restructuring. Okay. So isn't quitting smoking a form of restructuring my mindset? No, it doesn't extinguish. Water clashes with fire doesn't mean the fire goes away. Okay, let me explain to you how, you know, I'm a bit animated, right? And you guys love how I teach, right? So, okay, let me explain to you how clashes work, okay? Imagine you are coming, you are running towards me. You are going to clash into me, for example, yeah? You're coming and running towards me and you're going to bang into me. You're going to clash into me. I have my mobile phone in my pocket, yeah? In my pocket. My mobile phone is the 7 killings inside my pocket, yeah? So imagine when you run towards me and you bang me, right? You clash into me, my mobile phone comes out of my pocket. And then you can see that, oh, he has a mobile phone in his pocket. If I explain it that way, do you understand clashes better now? Yes? Okay. So now when the pig clashes with the snake, the mobile phone in the snake, which is the 7 killings, comes out. It doesn't get extinguished. Understand? Okay. Okay. So now you understand, right? So something comes out. So when the 7 killings comes out, means abrupt change, sudden, all right? Abrupt change can be painful, can be violent, but courage also comes out. Anything comes out of the pig, nothing. Nothing. Is so who is the victim? You understand? Something comes out from the victim. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So can you see what happens? So that's why at a deeper level, okay, at a deeper level, that's why I chose that particular day. Coincidentally, that's also the first day of March. Okay, so on the 6th of March, I just quit like that. Mindset shift, and I just kept remembering the words of my fiance. Okay, someone is asking, cold turkey. The strategy was cold turkey, but you know, by choosing the right day, aligning your activities and your mindset accordingly, do you know what were my symptoms? None. Imagine this. That is the most miraculous thing. After smoking for 25 years consistently, a pack to a pack and a half a day, the moment I quit violently on the right day, right time, with the right mindset, with the right approach, I had zero. Okay, maybe 0.1. I had 0.1 symptoms. Okay, symptoms. No, I did not pick the hour. The day I got up, I just threw away everything. Okay, threw away everything. I wasn't sure whether it was going to work. I was very afraid of the naturally you're very afraid of the potential what was it? The cold turkey, the side effects, right? The withdrawal symptoms, right? No, nothing. You know, nothing. Okay. Do you want to know? Okay, but by the way, by the way, not everyone is suited for this method. Okay, some people, if they're not suited and they do this method, they'll die. Okay, they'll kill themselves, all right, because it's going to be too painful. All right. Now, the thing is this, because I picked the right, yes, I was prepared because I looked at the charts, I knew exactly what was my strategy because I understood the combinations, the clashes, the uncivilized punishment, and all that stuff. All right. So can you see that a lot of breakthroughs are done through clashes, guys? And yet everybody avoids clashes. Can you see how I love clashes? Okay. Yeah. The thing is this, okay? Now, why am I able to perform such a violent technique? Okay. Why am I able to perform such a violent technique? Because I am a Gung metal or Yang metal day master, number one. Okay. A Yang metal day master is the, out of the 10 day masters, Yang metal day master is the crazy guy or the crazy day master that has to make life difficult for him or herself, all right, to become someone more useful in life. We are the day master that needs to torture ourselves. Okay. But because I'm a Yang day master, and a Yang day master is a doer, it's like a general. That means you charge in front of the whole troops. Okay, charge in front of the whole troops. Okay. Now, I am a Yang day master born in the season of rooster. That means, can you see the month of rooster? Okay, rooster is when metal is strong. That means I am a super hardest metal. Okay. So basically, I am strong enough to endure the hardship. Okay, it doesn't mean I like it. Okay, I'm not sadistic, but I know for a fact that I can endure it. Okay, so that's why I can do it alone. I don't need the support of other people. In fact, the people around me were suffering more than me. Right? Even my fiance was like, "Are you sure? Do you want me to buy you a pack as well?" I went to Malaysia. Okay, I went to Malaysia to find my fiance for about a week. All right, and during that time, she looked at me. She just kept on looking at me. She's like, "It's so weird not to see you smoke." All right. She's like, "Do you feel like smoking? I can buy you a pack." No, it's okay. No, you know, even my fiance was cracking. Right, even my fiance was cracking. right? I told her, it's okay. All right, it's okay. Maybe I'll drink more coffee from now on, but I'm okay. Even she was shocked, right? She was not shocked she was just shocked at how violent I made my decision. She was just shocked at how violent my approach was to quitting. Okay, so in fact I shocked everybody around me, my close friends who were also smokers, right? My family members, my own brother. He was like, "Are you sure?" My mom told my brother that, you know, Kenneth has just decided to quit just like that. My brother was like, "Huh? How? That's not logical," right? But yeah, that was how I did it, based on my understanding of clashes, combinations, destructions, punishments, and everything. Okay, and everything. Okay, so yeah, so as I said, guys, it's not, this is a technique that is not meant for everyone. So the technique or my approach was based on my chart, because I understood the secret doorway, okay, of getting what I want. Okay, so I know smoking for 25 years, whatever permanent damage that has been done has already been done. Okay, I know that. I know that. Okay. But I've also done my research. So the first week is always the toughest, because that's when most people fail. Okay. So I told my fiance, you help me create this timeline. Okay. The first one is the first and second week. That's the toughest. Once I get past the second week, the next milestone is the first month. Okay. And the final milestone is the end of 3 months. Okay, that is based on education by YouTube. Okay, for your body to recover from the smoking. Okay, everything else after that is all mental, or ignoring. Okay, so I did this in March, first 6th of March. Today is the 19th, is it? Is today the 19th? The 19th of yes, it's the 19th of May. Okay, I have officially completed more than 3 months. Okay, so I have cleared my major milestone in quitting. Basically, all I have to do now is don't screw up. Don't be stupid about anything. And this destruction would not come back. In fact, if I want to satisfy this, I can choose another addiction, such as maybe being addicted to metaphysics, being addicted to creating a wonderful family life. It's a choice you don't have to accept. And that's the reason why I followed Datuk Joey, because he doesn't accept life. We create it on our own. Okay, guys? Now, okay, that's why I changed my examples to make it more personalized to me, and it gives me great honor to announce my successful quitting after 25 years with the most violent method I can come up with. Okay, right. Okay, and this just happened in March, 3 months ago. Okay, and perfect timing. This 3 months later, I'm talking to you guys, right? Okay, now who wants to be equipped with this? You don't have to be at my level, but that's because I've been practicing for a while, like 5 years, right? But how many of you want to know how to do this, right? How to do this, how to have the confidence to do what I do and come up with certain new techniques based on just the understanding of the fundamentals. But you can't run away from the fundamentals, because that is what creates miracles, guys. How many of you think that the way I quit smoking is a miracle? How many of you think that the way I found my life partner is a miracle? How many of you feel that how I got myself out of bankruptcy and raised money in 2 weeks, and then, and raise money and took over a business and all that stuff? How many of you feel that it's a miracle? Okay, correct? So can you imagine that if I accepted my life, guys, I am not shy to tell you, my life sucks. Wealth sucks, relationship sucks, health sucks. Correct? Everything sucks. But don't you think that now I'm able to co-create and influence a better life for myself? at 44 years young, I don't think it's too late. 44 years of my life was not wasted, but it was a necessary timeline for me to learn what I had to do. So now I'm proud to say that I have just started living my life again. Okay? And you guys are the first to hear this set of news. All right. And I am very, very honored for you guys to share my my sharing with you guys tonight. All right. All right. Yeah. So those of you who are interested now, you will realize something, right? When we announced this webinar, we did something a bit different from the rest. Okay. You realize that there wasn't much advertising. Do you guys realize this? As compared to the other webinars, there wasn't much advertising. We were quite quiet about it. We just probably just announced it one time and just left it alone. And then because of COVID, we postponed it one time, right? And that was it, right? We did not really promote this webinar in particular. Do you know why? This webinar by right is not even planned, but this webinar was created because of people complaining. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious. Okay, I'm serious. Because since December last year, I've been promoting my signature course called Real Life BaZi Execution, exactly what I've shared with you guys. Okay, in this course, all right, you will learn how miracles happen by the universe, how it works in the universe. You will understand the 6 harmony, 3 harmony hidden combinations that I just showed you. You will understand the 6 clashes, and yes, all of them are not made the same way. You will understand the difference between clashing in and clashing out. When do things happen to you and when do you make things happen? Most importantly, how do you mitigate when the clash happens? All right? Destructions, harms, and punishments as well. All right? So these are the essential fundamentals that you definitely need to learn if you want to be exposed to the world of BaZi. Okay? Then you need to learn about the 10 gods, the talents, the potential, and the potential events that happens to your life. Okay? How different is this with Get Rich with BaZi? Get Rich with BaZi essentially are all theory. This is called real life. That means this is called, I'm going to teach you how to create miracles. Remember that 2 strategies. When shit happens to your life, you need to learn how to get out of it. Control, stabilize, and move on. Once you have moved on, how do you pursue and keep climbing? I am basically teaching you how to achieve a closer chart to the ideal progressive life. Growing Rich with BaZi teaches you different techniques, but in real life, it might not, it's not a full results creation kind of course. This real life is practical. And this is the first one of its kind, all right, in 27, 28 years in Joey Yap Consulting Group. And I'm glad this is my way of giving back and saying thank you to the Joey Yap Group, all right, by changing my life. Okay, and I am very proud to be teaching my techniques and my success to you guys as well. Okay, yep. So 10 gods, right? Now that's not important. That's not the most important, the 10 gods. The most important is how do you activate your 10 gods? Yes, you heard me right. Okay, the secret framework to activating your 10 gods, even though you might be missing a few. Okay, I can tell you in my chart, I am missing the EG, eating God, and indirect wealth, IW. So I'm not very good with business. That is why I nearly went into bankruptcy. But after activating my 10 gods, I am positioned in Joey Yap Consulting Group as a wealth and business coach, teaching people how to do business and creating wealth. I am teaching you guys the 2 gods that I am missing. And I'm only able to do that because I've activated all my 10 gods. Okay? And finally, after my near bankruptcy, I realized that every single BaZi chart has an ultimate skill. What is this ultimate skill about? If you understand this ultimate skill, it's going to eliminate, or it's going to give you a skill set that is going to allow you to be empowered when you deal with 95% of the serious events that happens in your life. Yes, activating the 10 gods. Yes, I'm very serious, Priscilla. Activating your 10 gods, including the ones that you're not born with. That's how scary I discovered this technique after my near bankruptcy, because I was driven into desperation, guys. And through that desperation, I forced myself and jumped into the deep ocean, all right, and went out to raise money. And after the big fiasco and everything, finally, I saved my family from bankruptcy. When I revisited my chart, I saw things very differently. All right, I realized that the chart was talking to me. Okay, I know those of you who are more imaginative, I don't see a mouth talking, hello, Kenneth. No, it's not like that. Means I'm talking about when I look at the chart, it's telling me a story. Okay, it's telling me a story. That means I am able to see through the charts. And I thought I went crazy, guys. I thought the stress cracked my mental state, right? What I realized was I awakened my intuition. That was what happened. What I would like to call crossing the prism, moving from theory to real life. Okay, going from mainstream to intuition. Okay, I managed to cross over. I'm still a human being, okay? I'm not a spirit, but I managed to cross over in terms of my metaphysics practice. And that was what caused the Joy Up Consulting Group to extend an invitation to me to join their apprenticeship program and eventually making me a consultant to serve the community. It's because of the way I see things. Yes, without the use of feng shui or qi, everything that I achieve 100% BaZi. Okay, I can tell you, to prepare for myself to quit smoking, my backup was feng shui and qi. But to my surprise, I did not even have to use it at all. It was 100% BaZi. And choosing the right timing and just remembering what my fiance said to me. 0 side effects, guys. Okay, so don't mess around. Yeah. So for those of you who are interested to learn what is possible, okay, this is US 497. It's not the usual Datuk Joey's 1997. Okay, it's 497. It's a breakthrough. It's a once, I would say a breakthrough, that's blowing my own horn, but it's a first of its kind, 100% practical. Okay, I was looking for a course like this when I was a student, but unfortunately it wasn't available. That's why I had to go through the hard yards to nearly face bankruptcy. Yeah. But because the management is very kind, because this is my signature, this whole course basically is developed by me and is revolving around my story of rising from the ashes. Okay, so this is the first time doing it. So everybody who signs up for this time enjoys a founder's discount, which is just US 397. Okay, now this is a super discount price normally for a 2-day course. But what you're getting is a 3-day course plus additional 2 days of bonuses. Okay. The first bonus is True Sight, okay, which talks about how do you manipulate your 12 animal signs every single year. If you don't like your 12 animal signs for any year, there is a way of manipulating for it. Okay, there's a way of manipulating and finding the window of opportunity or the secret door. Okay, right. Then how do you deal with the Grand Duke animal signs? How do we deep dive into the Grand Duke animal signs and mitigate the clashes, the harms, the destruction and all that stuff? Okay, and finally we'll do a deep analysis of all your 4 pillars in your chart to give you an outlook and the theme and the path for the year. Now, this bonus has already been done. So what you will have access to is a 7 days recording. Okay, it's a 7 days recording. No, it's not lifetime access. Lifetime access is for Datuk Joey's full scale 1997 courses. For us, we don't have a lifetime access. We don't have that kind of privilege. Yeah. Okay. Then the second bonus hasn't been done yet. It will be done roughly on the 24th of June. Okay, this is called 八字 Better Plan, 12 months of power. Okay, now this is a real life 八字 execution course. That means when you do this course, you need to achieve something real in your life. Now, this is the tough part, okay, for me. This is when you start with a plan. That means you decide for yourself, okay, whether it's for wealth, relationship, or health, right? Start with a plan. That means you decide 1 or 2 milestones that you personally want to achieve for the year. Okay? Then I will teach you how to do monthly analysis so that you're able to identify windows of opportunities. All right? When something happens, how do you read the universal signs? What is the universe trying to tell you? Okay? Then we will design a 12 months battle plan. That's why it's called 12 months of power. Formulate an action plan using the 八字 execution framework for you to achieve the results that you want. Okay, for you to achieve the results that you want. Now, this 12 months of power is a personal challenge to myself. Do you know how tough it is to show a class how to achieve customized individual milestones? Okay, yeah, okay. So basically, every course has as of now is 7 days replay time. 7 days replay. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mark. Yep, 7 days replay. Okay. So this teaches you the technique. So this is a program that not just teaches you how to handle 2023. You learn the techniques so that now, whichever year it is, you will be able to use the same techniques for every single year. So now you no longer have to depend on me or Dato Joey to tell you, oh, which animal sign is good, which animal sign is bad. You decide what you want to achieve for the year and go for it. Who likes this? Now you know why this is called my signature program, because I am living proof that whatever I teach you guys, I have done it before. Because this is my true promise to you. If I have not done this for myself, on myself, right, before, I can't teach it to you. This is my responsibility to the community. Okay? Now, those of you who are interested, okay, you can sign up via this link, www.joeyyap.com/八字-execution for this once in a lifetime founders discount price of USD 397. I do not know when I'll be doing this course again. This is my only scheduled time to do this course, right? But one thing for sure, if I do this course again, it will not be this price anymore. So those of you who are interested, you can sign up for this. Okay, now, honest to truth, hand on heart. Initially, we have already closed off this registration. True, right? Because I've been promoting this since December last year. It's coming to 6 months. Okay, but for some strange reason, people started complaining, saying that why can't I register? Why can't I register? Why can't I register? Okay, I said we have been doing multiple webinars and we've been promoting since December. She said, well, I didn't get to see any of them. Okay, so being a metaphysics practitioner and being a metaphysics organization, we practice one golden principle of metaphysics. It's called the School of Affinity. So that's the reason why we are opening up this registration again to align ourselves to the concept of affinity. We are doing one more extra webinar tonight. Okay, we are opening up the registration one last time. All right, and we are going to close off the registration in about 72 hours. This is a last minute reopening of registration purely for people who have affinity to join me in this webinar and for the people who have affinity to watch this replay. All right, we have no choice but to close this off in about 72 hours because this course will be conducted in 2 weeks' time. So we have to close it off. Okay, guys. Okay. All right. So yes, bonus one has already been conducted, recorded, and now is the replay is being shared. But not to worry, those of you who register, all right, wait for a confirmation email before being able to access the replay for 7 days. Yeah. All right. For those that already signed up bonus to apply, of course, those who sign up since December until now, you're entitled to the main course, which is 3 days and the 2 bonuses. Yeah. Those of you who want to know about the dates, the real life BaZi execution main course is from the 3rd to 5th of June. The true site was conducted on the 21st of April. That's why you guys are going to get the recording. And the last bonus, the 12 months of power, my personal challenge, will be done on the 24th of June. All right. Okay, most of the Q&A will be done during the class. Okay, during the class. All right. Yep, that's right. And of course, we're going to have a designated Telegram channel for me to share the slides, share additional information and stuff like that. So even after the class, if you post some questions and I happen to see it, I will try my best to answer any further questions as well. Okay. BaZi Battle Plan is not a one-to-one guidance. It's a class, but I will show you. Okay, I will show you how to do it for yourself. So subsequent years, you don't have to depend on me. You see, I want to stop giving you guys the fish. I want to teach you guys how to fish. Got it? Yeah. Those of you who, when will be the replay of True Sight? Those of you who attended my True Sight live class, the replay has already been shared. Those of you who have not signed up, but you want to sign up today, all right, you will receive a confirmation from the team. Then you will have access to the replay. Yeah. Yes, all courses will be in the evening, GMT +8. That means Singapore, Malaysia time. Okay. For the real life BaZi execution, it should start around 7 every day. Okay. For the bonuses, it can start about 8 or 8:30 around there. All right. The confirmation email will show you the timing. Yeah. So not to worry. Okay, those of you who have already signed up, I'll see you in class. Those of you, for some strange reason, if this is the first time you're hearing about this course, well, this is the power of affinity. It's up to your human free will if you decide to sign up for this. Okay, so again, this is an extra bonus webinar plus reopening of this registration. If you miss it, you miss it. Okay, that means you had no affinity to see this webinar and you had no affinity to join us in this class. If you want to practice metaphysics, affinity, the power of affinity is a concept that you can't run away from. Okay, and that is why. Angelica, I'm a bit confused. Kind of all the 3 bonuses are really on the student platform because I didn't see it. No, only True Sight is available on your student dashboard because the main course and the bonus number 2 has not been conducted yet. Okay, so Angelica, you should have access to True Sight. If you don't see it, Mark, can you PM Angelica please and see what's going on? Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Mark and SK, you might want to put down your WhatsApp number so just in case people can WhatsApp you guys. Yep. Okay, guys. SK, okay, any questions, right? Any questions? Mark and SK have shared their WhatsApp number. So if you have any questions on enrollment, just say payment issues, right? Please contact them and they'll take care of you. Okay, guys? All right. Fantastic. Who loves the sharing today? Very good. So, you guys might not have to be experts, but please understand that things can be done. And sharing with you guys my personal achievements in all 3 aspects of my life is to inspire you guys and at the same time inform you guys that it is possible. If I can do it, so can you. All right. On that note, I'm Kenneth Wong. Thank you so much, guys, for your patience, for the postponement and everything. And I'll see you guys in class. All right. All the best, guys. Take care.
Everyone before us is there welcoming us now. It's the end of death and doubt, and loneliness is out. Colorature, the place we dreamed about, the melodies inside yourself, and love come pouring out, and everyone's allowed. We're feathered by the crowd. And up there in the heavens, Galileo and those pining for the moon. No, it's a slow burn to Pioneer and Helix, Uma, Mama, Heliopause and Neptune. We're a slow burning June, but we'll get there. So for now, in this crazy world, I do. I just want you. In the end, it's all about the love you're sending out. And up there in the heavens, the explorers who've all gathered by the moon saw the world turn to Voyager, Callisto, Calliope, Betelgeuse, the neon moons. We're a slow burning June, but we'll touch down soon. So and in this crazy world, I do. I just want you. prophesy up in the blue. Together, that's how we make it through.
Curse me, stop, but you know